Beloved chosen one, listen carefully. Heaven has pressed pause over your striving. You have fought long and hard, carrying weights that were never meant to stay upon your shoulders. Every late night of wondering, every silent cry that went unheard by man, was seen and recorded by the one who neither sleeps nor slumbers. This moment right now is not coincidence, it is divine intervention. The world around you may still be running, but God is calling you into stillness. He is saying, "Rest now, my child. It is my turn." You've been taught to move, to push, to perform, to prove. Yet heaven moves differently. There are seasons where the command is go, but this one, this sacred hour, carries a quieter instruction. Be still, for when the Almighty steps in, the only posture powerful enough to receive His movement is surrender. You have done your part. Now it's time to let God do His. You are not being lazy. You are being positioned. The divine pause is not punishment, it's preparation. Heaven does not ask you to rest because you are weak. Heaven asks you to rest because your assignment is shifting. What's coming next requires a rested spirit, not a restless heart. You are being refined for a higher calling. Every battle you fought built endurance, but now God wants to show you victory through peace. Breathe, chosen one. The same God who brought you through fire will now lead you beside still waters. There is a different kind of strength that rises when you stop fighting battles that were never yours to fight. Every time you tried to fix what only God could heal, you drained your light. But He is reclaiming that light now. He is whispering, "My child, you have done enough." The world may call rest a weakness, but heaven calls it warfare. In rest, you make room for God's hand to move. In stillness, you become unshakable, because your confidence no longer depends on what you can control, it depends on who holds you. The hands that formed galaxies are now arranging your future. The silence you feel is not the absence of God, it is the settling of His presence. Your exhaustion has not gone unnoticed. Heaven saw the nights when you questioned if you had anything left to give. Heaven watched you pour into others even when you were running empty. And heaven decided enough. It is time for divine takeover. God is stepping into the places you kept together with tears and tape. He is mending what human effort could never restore. You are about to see how mighty grace can be when you stop wrestling and start resting. Do not fear the pause. Do not resist the slowness. Even eagles must rest their wings between flights. You are not grounded. You are being renewed. The waiting room of heaven is never a wasted place. Every second in stillness is shaping the version of you that will walk boldly into the next chapter. You have proven your endurance in the storm. Now God wants to show you peace in the calm. What He is about to release requires no striving. You will not have to beg for what heaven already decided is yours. You only need to remain still long enough to receive it. Divine timing will not rush. When God says rest, it means He is already moving behind the curtain of your circumstance. Listen closely. Your rest is not the end of the story. It is the divine intermission before breakthrough. The next scene begins when God stands up on your behalf. Do not rush ahead of His hand. When you release control, you give God permission to rewrite the ending. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 23, verse 2. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. Beloved, it's time to lie down in those green pastures. Heaven is taking over your battles, your fears, and your future. Trust that the God who called you will complete what He began. Let peace wrap around you like a holy blanket. Every storm is bowing before His command. You don't need to understand the how, just believe in the who. This rest is sacred territory where faith matures and strength returns. God is not delaying. He is delivering perfection in His time. Now, before you scroll away, take this as your sign if this message touched your spirit. Like, share, and comment the number 777 below. Let heaven see your agreement that you are stepping into divine rest. And if you haven't already, subscribe to stay under this flow of peace and revelation. Rest, chosen one. Heaven is moving even now. Beloved chosen one, heaven has watched every drop of exhaustion flow from your spirit. You have pressed forward when others would have stopped. You've smiled when your heart was aching, encouraged others while silently breaking inside. And now, the whisper of heaven moves softly across your soul. Rest, for I am near. This isn't the kind of rest the world talks about. It's not about sleep or leisure. It's a rest that reaches the marrow of your soul, where divine strength begins to rebuild what life has worn down. You've been running, trying to meet invisible expectations, chasing approval that never satisfies. But God's voice calls you out of the noise. He says, "My peace I give to you." That peace isn't earned, it's bestowed. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead dwells in you, and that Spirit is now bringing life to weary places. Heaven is not asking for your performance. It is inviting your surrender. There are moments when the noise of the world makes it hard to hear the voice of peace. Yet, in the stillness of surrender, His whisper becomes thunder. You don't need to prove your worth anymore. You never had to. Every moment of your striving was met with divine compassion. But this season is different. You're being taught to receive, not to perform. You're being reminded that grace doesn't demand movement, it requires rest. Every sleepless night has been a silent prayer. Every breath you've taken in pain has been heard as worship. You are not invisible. Heaven saw your breaking point, and rather than letting you shatter, God decided to cradle you in stillness. You are entering a sacred recalibration. Heaven is realigning your soul to peace. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 25. "For I will refresh the weary soul and replenish all who are faint." Let those words wash over you like living water. God Himself promises to refresh and replenish. That means your exhaustion is not a permanent condition. It's a temporary setup for divine renewal. Even when your hands tremble from the weight of what you've carried, His hands are steady. He doesn't need your strength to work. He only needs your permission to step in. Chosen one, you have been fighting storms in your mind, trying to make sense of unanswered prayers. But heaven has not forgotten a single one. The delays were never denials, they were divine pauses for protection. You thought things fell apart, but they were actually falling into alignment. You will understand soon that rest is not the absence of battle, it's the assurance of victory. When you quiet your soul, you create a space where heaven can speak. In the silence between your heartbeats, the voice of God whispers direction. Every time you breathe in, heaven breathes out peace. The fatigue you feel is not your enemy. It's the signal that you've reached the end of yourself and the beginning of God's grace. You may look around and see chaos, but within you, something sacred is awakening. Rest isn't the end, it's a divine restart. God is not asking you to give up your mission, He's reminding you that even warriors need recovery. Every prophet, every apostle, every chosen vessel had moments where heaven commanded stillness. Why? Because revelation grows best in the soil of rest. There are angels moving right now on assignments you once tried to handle yourself. They're shifting circumstances, softening hearts, and removing obstacles. You might not see it yet, but the evidence of divine movement will soon unfold. Rest isn't doing nothing, it's trusting that heaven is doing everything. Your tears are not signs of weakness. They are sacred seeds. Everyone that has fallen has watered the ground where your new beginning will rise. Heaven counts your tears as prayers, and not one is wasted. In the quiet where nobody claps and no spotlight shines, God is building something eternal inside you. Remember this: chosen one exhaustion is not your identity. You are not the sum of your fatigue or your failures. You are the living proof that divine endurance exists. When you rest, you're declaring that your story is still in God's hands, and those hands never drop what they hold. So breathe again. Release the tightness in your chest. Let go of the idea that you must always be strong. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is allow yourself to be held. Heaven is not asking for your effort, it's asking for your heart. You will wake one morning soon and realize the heaviness has lifted. The anxiety that once defined your days will dissolve in His presence. The same God who commanded the storm to be still will speak the same word over your life. Peace will not just visit you, it will dwell within you. Chosen one, the world may measure your worth by how much you do, but heaven measures it by how much you trust. You are stepping into a sacred rhythm where grace moves faster than striving. You are learning to live not from pressure, but from presence. You have done enough. Now, let God take over. Chosen one, you have carried far more than most could bear. There are scars on your soul that don't show on your skin, marks of silent battles fought in private places. You've smiled when your heart was bleeding. You've stood when your knees were shaking. And yet, through it all, heaven saw you. The tears, the disappointments, the quiet surrender in the night, none of it went unnoticed. God is saying to you now, lay it down. The burdens you've carried, those worries about the future, the people you tried to save, the situations you couldn't fix were never yours to hold forever. You picked them up out of love, out of loyalty, out of hope. But now divine hands are stretching toward you, ready to lift them from your weary arms. The battle is no longer yours, it belongs to the Lord. The world may tell you to keep going, to push harder, to do more. But heaven speaks a different language. Heaven says, cease striving. Heaven says, I will fight for you. You have proven your faith in the storm. Now you will see the faithfulness of the one who commands it to cease. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus in chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Those words are not poetry, they are power. When God speaks, storms obey. When heaven decrees peace, even chaos must kneel. You don't need to keep trying to manage what only God can master. Lay it down. Chosen one, you've carried the pain, the guilt, the pressure for too long. It's not surrendering in weakness, it's surrendering in wisdom. Sometimes the greatest act of strength is release. You've been clinging to outcomes, praying for signs, replaying what went wrong. But heaven whispers, let go. For when you release, your hands are finally open to receive. There's a reason why blessings come after surrender, because your clenched fists can't hold miracles. Beloved, this is the holy exchange, your burden for His peace, your striving for His strength, your confusion for His clarity. The moment you release, heaven replaces. It's not an empty trade, it's divine transformation. Every piece of what you thought you lost becomes the foundation of what God will now rebuild. You've been misunderstood because people saw your fight but not your fatigue. They saw your faith but not your tears. But God saw it all, and He says, you've done enough. There comes a moment where even warriors must lay down their swords, not in defeat, but in trust that the commander of heaven's armies is taking over. That moment is now. Chosen one, don't fear what happens after you release control. You will not collapse, you will be carried. Heaven has a way of catching what you let go of. And when you do, Divine rest will flood every corner of your being. You'll breathe again, not from anxiety, but from assurance. There is a version of you waiting on the other side of surrender, the version that walks lighter, prays deeper, and moves freely without the chains of control. That is who you are becoming right now. This is your refining season. God is not removing things from you to punish you. He's pruning you so you can finally grow without restraint. You've been trying to fix what was never broken, just misaligned. You've been trying to understand what only heaven can explain in hindsight. But today, heaven invites you to rest from reasoning and return to trusting. You are not meant to hold the whole world in your hands. Your hands were designed to hold His. Listen, beloved, you are not being abandoned. You are being relieved. Every time you tried to carry others, God was already carrying you. And now, He is lifting what weighs on your heart. When you finally stop striving, that's when the miracle begins to move. So right now, breathe out the pressure and breathe in peace. You don't need to have the answers. God is the answer. You don't need to fight anymore. He already won. You don't need to see the path. He is the path. Before you go further, pause right here and write in the comments, "I release it." Let those 3 words become a declaration, a prophetic act of trust. As you type them, see it in your spirit, every burden leaving your shoulders, every weight falling from your heart. The comment isn't for the algorithm, it's for heaven to witness your surrender. Say it and mean it. I release it. Release the outcome. Release the fear. Release the need to understand. Release the urge to control what's never been yours. When you let go, you give God permission to take over completely. You've done enough. Chosen one. Heaven is proud of your endurance, but now heaven wants to teach you the peace of rest. Let it happen. Don't reach back for what's already been lifted. Watch how light your spirit feels when you finally step aside and let God lead. This is the sacred rest after long battles. It is not the end, it is the beginning of divine takeover. The moment you say, "I release it," heaven answers, "I've got it." Chosen one. There are moments when heaven becomes silent, not because God has forgotten you, but because He is working in ways that words cannot explain. You've prayed and heard nothing. You've sought answers and found quiet. And in that quiet, fear tries to whisper that you've been abandoned. But listen carefully. Silence does not mean absence. It means strategy. God is still speaking, but not in the way you expect. The silence is His canvas and your faith is the paintbrush. He is crafting something holy in the stillness, something that cannot be formed in noise. The Father has not turned His face away. He has simply shifted the way He communicates. Sometimes the most powerful words heaven speaks are wrapped in silence. The waiting has not been wasted. Every unanswered question is being rewritten into revelation. You see, divine silence is often the sound of construction. God builds in the dark when the world is quiet, when the stage is empty, when your heart is still. The quiet moments are where faith matures, where trust deepens, where love grows beyond proof. You are being trained to hear heaven without volume, to feel His nearness even when you can't trace His voice. As Jesus Himself declared in the Gospel of John, chapter 20, verse 29, "Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed." These words are not just comfort, they are a divine invitation. You are being called into a deeper kind of belief, the kind that stands steady when evidence is gone. The kind that trusts the author even when the story pauses mid-sentence. Chosen one. God is not testing you to break you, He is tuning you to hear more clearly. You've been asking for signs, for confirmations, for immediate answers. But heaven is asking for faith, faith that doesn't need proof to remain planted. The absence of sound is not the absence of movement. Underneath your silence, roots are growing. There's a mystery in God's quietness. It unsettles the impatient but comforts the wise. When heaven speaks softly, it's because your spirit is being refined for sensitivity. The noise of the world has dulled your hearing, but silence is sharpening it again. You are learning to perceive divine presence not by volume but by vibration, the subtle peace that tells you He's near. Think of every great story in Scripture: Abraham, Joseph, David, Mary. Each of them faced seasons where heaven seemed still. Yet in those quiet intervals, destiny was taking shape. The silence between promise and fulfillment is where character is born. You, too, are in that sacred space right now, the space where God is forming the unseen before revealing the visible. You've mistaken the pause for punishment. But what if the pause is protection? Sometimes heaven delays its voice because the answer isn't ready, or because you aren't ready to receive it. The silence becomes a shield, keeping you from rushing into something that could ruin the plan. The enemy loves to exploit quiet seasons, whispering that God has left. But you must remember, silence is not rejection, it's refinement. God's quiet is not distance, it's depth. The same God who spoke worlds into existence can also build miracles in whispers. He doesn't need noise to prove His power. Chosen one, breathe in the silence and see it as sacred. Don't fight it. Rest in it. Your faith is being purified from dependency on emotional confirmation. You're learning to trust God, not just His words. There is strength in that kind of trust, a strength that can walk through valleys and still sing praises. Every time you choose faith over fear in silence, heaven applauds. Every tear you cry in the quiet is seen. Every sigh that escapes your chest is recorded in eternity. You are not unseen. You are being sanctified. Sometimes, God hides His voice because He's revealing His nature. You asked for direction, but He's teaching you discernment. You asked for an answer, but He's teaching you awareness. You asked for a sign, but He's showing you Himself. You are being drawn into divine intimacy, the kind that doesn't need loudness to feel close. The more you learn to rest in the silence, the more powerful your hearing will become. Soon, the smallest whisper will move you. The gentlest nudge will guide you, and the faintest feeling of peace will be enough to follow. Do not mistake stillness for stagnation. The absence of sound does not mean the absence of presence. Heaven is closer than your breath. God is not distant. He is deeply at work, weaving the unseen threads that will soon reveal His masterpiece. Hold steady, chosen one. The silence is not your ending, it's your incubation. Something divine is forming, waiting to emerge in perfect time. Trust that even when heaven is quiet, grace is still loud in its working. When the silence breaks, and it will, you will see that every unanswered prayer was actually an invitation to deeper faith. You will look back and say, even when He was silent, He was still good. Chosen one, surrender is not weakness, it is wisdom. You've tried to hold everything together with trembling hands, but even the strongest heart can grow tired. You've planned, pushed, and persevered, believing that if you just did enough, everything would finally fall into place. But God is whispering now, release the control you never had. You've mistaken control for safety, yet control has only chained you to fear. Like a sailor gripping the wheel in a raging storm, you fought the waves, forgetting that the ocean itself listens to His voice. You cannot calm the sea, but you can trust the one who commands it. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Those ancient words still breathe truth. Trust is the currency of heaven. It's how faith purchases peace. When you try to steer every outcome, you miss the beauty of being guided. The captain doesn't need your hand on the wheel, he needs your heart in his. There's a difference between surrendering and giving up. Giving up is saying, it's over. Surrender is saying, it's yours. You are not quitting. You are yielding. You are allowing heaven to reroute what you've been forcing to move in your own strength. Chosen one, think of a seed. When it falls to the ground, it doesn't fight the soil or question the darkness. It simply lets go, and in that letting go, life begins. The seed doesn't control its growth. It trusts the unseen hands of creation. You, too, are that seed. This surrender is not your burial, it's your planting. God is not asking for your exhaustion, He's asking for your faith. When you release your grip, He releases His glory. When you step aside, heaven steps in. Everything you've been trying to hold together is already secure in His hands. The storms that frightened you are now the very winds that will carry you forward. When you let go, the wind of His Spirit fills your sails. You will move farther in one moment of surrender than in 1,000 days of striving. Beloved, it's okay to rest your hands. It's okay to say, God, I don't know what to do anymore. That confession isn't failure, it's freedom. Heaven doesn't need your perfection, it wants your permission. And when you finally let go, miracles begin to breathe. Some of you have been holding your lives like clenched fists fighting to protect what you fear losing. But when you open your hands, you'll realize that what's truly meant for you can never slip away. God is not taking from you, He's freeing you. He's removing what was temporary to make room for what's eternal. Imagine standing on the edge of the ocean. The waves roll in, one after another, unstoppable. You can't push them back, can't contain them, can't direct them, but you can step in and trust the current. That's what surrender feels like, stepping into something greater. Letting God carry you instead of fighting to stand alone. And as you surrender, let gratitude rise. Thank Him for every closed door that kept you safe, every delay that shielded you from disaster, every no that led you to something better. You may not understand it now, but one day, you'll see that divine order was guiding every step. Beloved, I want to speak to your heart personally. These words, this message, if they have touched your spirit, don't let it end here. Just as rivers must keep flowing to stay alive, messages like this flow through connection. When you like or share, you're not feeding an algorithm, you're spreading light to another soul who needs this reminder tonight. And if this word has given you peace, subscribe not just to stay connected, but to remain in the rhythm of divine encouragement. Together, we become a family of faith, a tribe of those who trust heaven's timing. If you feel moved in your heart to donate, do so not as payment, but as planting. Every seed sown in faith becomes part of something eternal. Think of it as watering the soil from which more voices of hope can rise. Your generosity isn't about giving to a person. It's about giving through one to let God's message reach the weary, the lost, the forgotten. Remember, every act of kindness becomes a ripple. One small gesture, a share, a comment, a prayer, a gift can travel farther than you imagine. You never know whose midnight moment your obedience might illuminate. You are part of this divine movement, chosen one. Each time you support light, you help push back darkness. You are not just a listener, you are a carrier of the same hope that has been spoken into you. Release control, trust deeply, give freely. For in surrender, you don't lose anything of value, you gain everything of worth. The God who wrote your story is still writing, still weaving, still holding the pen. And one day soon, you'll look back on this season and say, I didn't lose control, I found peace. Chosen one, as the world sleeps and your thoughts begin to quiet, heaven is at work. You may think nothing is happening, but the unseen realm is moving in perfect rhythm. There are angels assigned to your life who do not rest when you do. While you close your eyes, they carry your prayers like incense before the throne. When you release your worries to God at night, heaven begins its most intricate work. You see, rest is not absence, it's activation. The moment you stop striving, divine order begins to flow. God does not need your constant motion to perform miracles. In fact, sometimes your silence gives him space to speak. When you finally let go, heaven steps in to do what only it can do. The prophet Daniel once fell asleep exhausted after fasting and praying. Yet in his slumber, heaven dispatched revelation through dreams. You too are in such a moment where stillness becomes your sanctuary. God is rearranging pieces while you rest, aligning outcomes that will astonish you when the morning light returns. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. That sound mind, peaceful, quiet, and steady, is the foundation of your prophetic rest. When you sleep in divine trust, your spirit doesn't shut down, it ascends. It receives clarity, strength, and direction beyond the noise of the day. You are not being idle, you are being infused with heaven's strategy. Think of a seed again, buried beneath the soil. Though it appears forgotten in the dark, within that hidden chamber new life is forming. So too is your rest. What looks like stillness on the surface is divine transformation underneath. Every night you surrender your exhaustion. Your spirit is being rewired for strength. Chosen one, there are battles you'll never have to fight because God is fighting them while you sleep. There are enemies being silenced in the night, obstacles being removed, hearts being softened, and doors being prepared. Heaven is rearranging your story to make room for miracles. When you rest in trust, you are declaring that fear no longer controls you. Fear thrives in motion. It whispers when you're weary. It shouts when you stop to think. But peace whispers back louder when you choose to rest in faith. Fear says, "What if it doesn't work out?" Faith answers, "What if it already has?" You don't need to stay awake wondering how God will fix it. He's already fixing it. While you were praying, he was positioning. While you were doubting, he was designing. You are not behind. You are being brought into perfect alignment. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is to stop and breathe. Rest isn't running from responsibility. It's returning to reliance. When you rest, you say to heaven, "I trust you enough to stop trying to be you." That is worship in its purest form. Beloved, even in your sleep, heaven keeps a record of faith. The peace that descends upon you is not fragile, it's fortified. It's guarded by the one who neither sleeps nor slumbers. So close your eyes with confidence tonight. The same hands that hold the stars in place hold your future secure. When you awaken, don't be surprised if something feels lighter. That's what happens when you let heaven work through the night. Burdens you didn't even know you were carrying will lift, and clarity will meet you with the dawn. This prophetic rest is not a one-night miracle. It's a new rhythm of living. You are being taught how to operate from peace, not pressure. You are learning that the same God who works through your prayers also works through your pauses. And now, before you leave this moment, let heaven mark your surrender. Write in the comments the number 888. This is your prophetic declaration, the symbol of new beginnings and divine continuation. It's heaven's way of saying the story is not ending, it's expanding. As you type 8888, you are affirming that you choose rest over worry, trust over tension, and faith over fear. This number is not superstition, it's symbolism. It's a reminder that when you rest, God restores. When you stop forcing, heaven starts forming. Chosen one, lay your head down tonight knowing this truth: you are covered, you are seen, and you are safe. The battle belongs to the Lord, and victory is already written. Rest now. Heaven is working. Chosen one, while you wait, heaven is at work in ways you cannot yet see. The quiet seasons, the ones that make you wonder if life has stalled, are actually the sacred spaces of divine rearrangement. You are standing in a holy construction zone where God is building something beautiful behind the scenes. What looks like stillness is strategic movement, hidden beneath the surface of your understanding. You see, heaven never rushes. God's timing is not measured in minutes, but in meaning. When you think He's delaying, He's actually designing. Every unanswered prayer, every closed door, every detour has been a thread in a larger tapestry you can't yet see. He is not withholding, He is aligning. He is. Think of a master artist preparing a canvas. Before the colors meet, before the brush touches the surface, the artist must mix, measure, and wait for the right moment. If you were to interrupt the process midway, the image would look chaotic and incomplete. But when the timing aligns, every stroke suddenly makes sense. Your life is like that canvas. Right now, heaven's brush is mid-stroke. The picture isn't finished, but it's already beautiful in His eyes. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 37, verse 7. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways. The scripture doesn't say stand still forever, it says wait patiently. That means there will be movement, but it will be heaven's movement, not yours. Waiting is not punishment, it's positioning. While you wait, God is rearranging people, opportunities, and even atmospheres to favor your destiny. You are not being delayed, you are being delivered into divine order. Chosen one. The delay you feel is not denial. Heaven has perfect timing, and that timing often arrives wrapped in confusion. What you see as silence is strategy. What you feel as loss is preparation. God will never rush what He intends to last forever. Right now, certain doors are closing not because you failed, but because your capacity is being expanded. The door that seemed perfect yesterday cannot hold the version of you that heaven is building today. God is reshaping you for bigger rooms and deeper purpose. You may not see it, but He's shifting hearts, removing those who cannot go where you're headed, and aligning divine helpers to meet you at your next destination. Every relationship, every encounter, every separation is part of the orchestration. The hand of heaven is rearranging your life like a symphony, and when the music rises, every note will make sense. Sometimes, heaven hides progress so you won't interfere. You're not being left out, you're being protected from premature exposure. If God revealed everything too soon, you would try to fix what He's already finished. So He hides it until your faith matures enough to handle the revelation. Chosen one, don't mistake preparation for punishment. Every delay carries divine detail. Heaven is not in a hurry because eternity never rushes. What you're waiting for is also being prepared for you. The promise must be ready to receive you as much as you must be ready to receive it. That's divine symmetry. Do you remember how Joseph's life looked like a series of setbacks, betrayed by brothers, imprisoned unjustly, forgotten by those he helped, yet behind those apparent failures, God was orchestrating a throne. Every injustice became a stepping stone. Every delay disguised a door. When the appointed time came, not a second was wasted. So it will be for you. Heaven is not silent, it's synchronizing. The right opportunity, the right connection, the right miracle, they are all being aligned to arrive at the exact moment they will glorify God the most. You must trust that unseen movement. When you can't trace His hand, trust His heart. God does not make random moves, He makes righteous ones. The rearrangement may confuse you now, but it is the only path to your promised place. While heaven rearranges the outer world, it is also rearranging your inner world. Your faith is being refined. Your patience is being perfected. The old parts of you, fear, control, doubt, are being stripped away so you can walk freely into what's next. This process isn't punishment, it's purification. Sometimes it hurts when God removes what you thought you needed, but He never takes without purpose. He prunes what doesn't bear fruit so that you may flourish. You are being repositioned, not rejected. You are being elevated, not eliminated. Chosen one, hold your peace. Let the process unfold. Don't rush divine timing. Don't resist divine order. The same God who led you here will not leave you unfinished. One day soon, you'll look back at this waiting season and whisper with awe, "Now I see why." And in that moment, you'll realize heaven never forgot you. It was simply preparing you to fit perfectly into the plan. Lord's chosen one. The Father is reaching now into the places that even you have forgotten, the corners of your soul that ache quietly beneath the surface. There are wounds that have not been spoken of in years. Memories buried so deep that only divine hands can touch them without reopening them. This season of stillness is not just about resting your body, it is about healing your inner world. You have been strong for so long, wearing invisible armor that has begun to feel like part of your skin. But heaven never intended for you to live guarded. The armor you put on to survive has kept out the arrows of pain, yes, but it has also kept out the balm of healing. And now, gently, lovingly, God is unfastening what you once thought you needed to protect yourself. Healing is not loud. It does not always arrive with signs and wonders. Often it comes in whispers, through moments of peace that surprise you, through tears that finally feel safe to fall, through the realization that what once broke you no longer defines you. The great healer is near, not standing above your pain, but sitting with you in it. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Isaiah, chapter 57, verse 18, "I have seen their ways, but I will heal them. I will guide them and restore comfort to Israel's mourners." That is the voice of mercy speaking directly to your heart. God does not merely patch the wound, He restores what was lost in the breaking. His healing reaches deeper than your memories, deeper than your trauma, deeper than your self-doubt. He does not need you to explain your pain. He already knows it intimately. He saw every moment it was formed, and He is rewriting every line of that story with redemption. Chosen one, the pain you've endured was never wasted. Every tear became a seed, and every scar became a testimony. You thought those shattered pieces would remain fragments forever, but heaven is piecing them together into a mosaic of glory. The cracks are not blemishes, they are the entry points for light. The areas you once tried to hide are the very places where God's glory will shine the brightest. Healing rarely feels holy while it happens. It feels like loss before it feels like liberation. Sometimes, in order to make you whole, God allows what's false to fall apart. The relationships that drained you, the identities that suffocated you, the habits that numbed you, all of them are being stripped away so that you can finally breathe freely again. Do not cling to what God is cleansing. This process is not punishment, it is purification. Heaven is removing the infection of the past, and though it stings, It's saving your life. You cannot carry old wounds into new seasons. They will poison the promise. So God, in mercy, is exposing what must be healed, not to embarrass you, but to empower you. Beloved, healing is happening even now. It is not waiting for your permission, it is responding to your surrender. Every sigh, every silent prayer, every "I can't take it anymore" has been heard. God is already moving through the chambers of your heart, softening hardened places, washing away residue from old betrayals. You are learning that forgiveness is not weakness, it's release. When you forgive, you free yourself. When you let go, you make room for joy to return. Forgiveness is not forgetting what happened, it's remembering without pain. And soon, you'll find that the memories which once made you cry will make you grateful instead. Chosen one, you have been walking wounded, but heaven is turning you into a healer. The compassion you carry now was born from the pain you survived. You will speak life into others, not because you read about healing, but because you lived through it. Your story will become medicine for those still bleeding in silence. There will come a day not long from now when you'll wake up and realize that you no longer feel the weight you've carried for years. It won't be because you forced yourself to move on. It will be because grace finished the work beneath your awareness. Healing will not announce itself. It will simply be. God is mending what the world mishandled. He is restoring innocence, joy, and the sense of wonder you lost when life became too heavy. Every broken promise is being rewritten by divine faithfulness. Every rejection is being replaced by holy acceptance. Every wound is becoming a well of wisdom. Chosen one, your healing is not the end, it is the beginning. From this wholeness will flow purpose, compassion, and power. The same hand that broke your chains will soon lift your chin. You will walk again, not with limping steps, but with the confidence of someone who knows they've been touched by heaven. And when you do, your scars will not speak of pain, they will sing of grace. Chosen one. There comes a moment when heaven doesn't ask for more effort, but for your agreement. You've been walking through shadows, hearing promises yet waiting for proof. You've seen glimpses of light, but you're not sure if it's dawn or just another illusion. Yet deep down, something in you still believes. That tiny ember of faith refuses to die. That is not coincidence. That is covenant. God has never abandoned His word concerning you. Even when you doubted, He stayed constant. Even when you turned away in exhaustion, He stood still in patience. Now, the call is not to do more, but to respond, to acknowledge His presence with a whisper of surrender. You see, faith is not measured by movement, it's measured by response. Heaven listens for agreement. When your spirit aligns with divine truth, doors begin to open not because you force them, but because heaven recognizes its own echo within you. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 11, "So shall my word be that goes out from my mouth. It shall not return to me empty, but it shall accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it." Every word that God has spoken over you carries power to fulfill itself. You are not responsible for making the promise happen. You are responsible for believing it will. The divine word doesn't fail, it simply waits for the right soil of your faith to take root. That's what this moment is about: alignment, not activity. Chosen one, this is your hour of resonance. Heaven is looking for a response, something that tells the unseen realm that you are awake to what God is doing. You've spent seasons asking for confirmation, yet this time, heaven is asking for confession. Say what you believe, even before you see it. Faith is sound before its sight. It is declaration before its manifestation. You are being invited to open your mouth and agree with what heaven already knows to be true. Right now, whisper it, write it, declare it, I receive this. Yes, that's simple. 3 words. But heaven moves through simple things. I receive this. Say it not as a wish, but as a witness. You are testifying that your spirit has heard truth and accepted it. When you type, I receive this in the comments, it is not just a phrase, it's a prophetic act. You're saying, God, I won't resist anymore. I won't overthink it. I accept what you are giving me even if I can't yet hold it. Heaven honors that kind of surrender. You may not feel ready, but faith never waits for feelings. It steps forward even while trembling. Faith is not the absence of doubt. It's choosing to believe louder than doubt speaks. And when you say, I receive this, every chain of hesitation begins to weaken. Chosen one, God's promises are not floating in delay. They are waiting for your yes. Heaven is filled with blessings already assigned to your name. They are not lost. They are waiting for permission to manifest. The moment you align your words with God's will, spiritual gravity takes effect. What's been hovering above begins to descend into your reality. You have prayed, waited, hoped, and now you are being called to agree. Agreement is the final key. It's the divine handshake that seals heaven's intention into earth's manifestation. Remember, it's not your power that activates the promise, it's your posture. When your heart bows in agreement, heaven stands in authority. When you yield your will, God releases His. The delay breaks. The atmosphere shifts. The waiting ends. Beloved, this is a holy moment. It may feel small, but eternity moves through small moments. A whisper created the world. A mustard seed moved a mountain. A single yes from Mary birthed salvation. Don't underestimate the power of your response. Say it once more, but this time from the depth of your being, I receive this. You're not repeating words. You're releasing faith. Every time you declare it, something unseen aligns. Heaven keeps record of faith-filled words. And right now, heaven is writing down yours. You've been through enough storms to recognize peace when it comes. This peace, this stillness you feel, it's the confirmation you've been searching for. God is saying, rest. You've heard correctly. I am doing it. So lift your head. The waiting is no longer a burden, it's a bridge. The silence is no longer a void, it's a womb where miracles form. What was delayed is being delivered. What was promised is awakening. You're not at the end, you're at the turning point. Chosen one, this agreement you've made with heaven will echo through your days. You will see the fruit of these words in unexpected moments. And when you do, remember this night, the night your simple I received this unlocked what striving never could. Chosen one. Stillness is not the absence of progress, it is the birthplace of strength. You have mistaken waiting for wasting, but heaven does not measure worth in movement. There is a divine power that awakens in the quiet, an inner fortitude forged in the fires of patience. When you stop running, your roots grow deeper. When you stop forcing, your faith becomes unshakable. You are learning that stillness is not weakness, it is strategy. The world around you screams for constant motion, build, do, prove, achieve. But heaven whispers a different rhythm. Be still and know that I am God. It is written in the book of Exodus, chapter 33, verse 14. My presence will go with you, and I will give you rest. Those words are not a promise for later. They are a declaration for now. Divine presence doesn't arrive after the noise dies down. It becomes the quiet itself. Every time you slow down and breathe, heaven draws nearer. You are not losing time, you are aligning with eternity. Chosen one, think of the ocean. When storms rage, the surface thrashes wildly, but deep beneath the water remains calm, untouched by the wind. That depth is where God is calling you. Stillness is your depth, it anchors you when chaos tries to sway your spirit. You can no longer live only at the surface of emotion. You must dive into the calm of divine trust. There is power in pausing. When you stand still, you stop reacting and start receiving. You begin to hear what can't be heard in noise, the soft instructions, the gentle warnings, the quiet encouragements of heaven. Stillness is not inactivity, it's intimacy. You are learning to fight differently now, not with frantic prayers, not with endless worry, but with holy calm. You stand firm, knowing that victory is already written. You rest, not because you're tired, but because you're trusting. Beloved, this peace you're stepping into, it's sacred. Don't treat it casually. Guard it as you would a flame on a windy night. The enemy doesn't fear your busyness, he fears your peace. Because peace proves that you've stopped depending on your own strength and started relying on God's. And now, allow me to speak to your heart personally. If this message has touched your spirit, let's keep the river of light flowing. When you like and share, it's not about numbers, it's about nurturing the soil of faith in others who might be walking through the same storm you've survived. Your engagement becomes a seed that multiplies hope. When you subscribe, you're not joining a channel, you're stepping into a fellowship of believers who choose peace over panic. You are becoming part of a lighthouse community, a gathering of souls who remind the world that divine rest still exists in the midst of chaos. And if you ever feel led to donate, do it as an act of worship, not obligation. Imagine your offering as oil poured upon the flame of this message, helping it burn brighter, longer, reaching those who sit in their midnight moments searching for light. Every contribution, no matter how small, becomes a ripple in the waters of restoration. It's not about giving to a voice, it's about giving through one. Chosen one. Heaven's economy doesn't measure generosity by amount, it measures it by heart. Just as the widow's 2 coins moved the heart of Christ, your simple act of faith can move mountains of despair in someone else's life. You have been poured into. Now let what overflows from your healing flow outward. You are part of the miracle. You are the living proof that God still breathes through surrendered vessels. Think of this message like a candle. When you share it, you're not losing light, you're multiplying it. When you give, you're not losing resources, you're investing in eternity. Every gesture of support fuels a greater mission to awaken the weary, to comfort the broken, and to remind the forgotten that heaven still sees them. This is how revival begins, not with crowds, but with compassion, one act of light at a time. Chosen one, your stillness is strength, but your support is seed. Together, we create an echo of peace that reaches far beyond this moment. You are part of a divine chain reaction, a movement of rest in a restless world. So take a deep breath. Feel that stillness settle over you like soft rain. The same God who calms the storms in your soul is now calling you to carry that peace into every corner of your world. Rest deeply, give freely, share boldly, and remember, heaven doesn't just work through miracles, it works through you. Chosen one. There is a peace that defies logic, a kind of stillness that stands tall even when storms rise around it. That peace is your inheritance. The moment you surrender control, heaven establishes a shield around you. No weapon formed against you can destroy what God has declared protected. You are being hidden in the shadow of His wings, guarded not by walls of stone but by the word of the Almighty. You have fought through enough battles to know that the greatest warfare isn't always around you, it's within you. The voices that say, "You're not enough. It won't work. You'll never overcome," those are the whispers the enemy uses to drain your confidence. But hear this truth: peace is not the absence of conflict. It is the presence of assurance. God is teaching you that His protection is not always the removal of trouble, but the calm within it. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 1, "Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty." These words are not poetic promises, they are spiritual law. When you remain in the shelter of divine presence, the arrows of anxiety cannot pierce you. The chaos may roar, but it cannot reach you. You become untouchable not because the world has changed, but because your spirit has anchored in something greater than fear. Chosen one, you are learning what it means to live covered. Covered doesn't mean isolated. It means surrounded by grace so deeply that even when the winds rise, you do not break. You may bend, but you will not be uprooted. The tree planted by streams of living water can sway, but its roots hold steady because they reach beneath the surface where the source never runs dry. You have spent so long defending yourself that you forgot who your defender truly is. You don't have to fight every rumor, answer every critic, or prove every point. God's peace speaks louder than your explanations. When heaven defends you, no voice of accusation can stand. The most powerful reply you can give to injustice is serenity. The enemy cannot handle peace, it disarms him completely. You are not fragile. You are fortified. You walk through shadows, yet the light within you refuses to fade. Every attack that was meant to break you has become proof of how unshakable you are. You carry an anointing of endurance, a resilience that hell cannot comprehend. Each trial that tried to destroy you has only revealed the strength that was hidden within you all along. Beloved, the storm is not your enemy, it is your sculptor. It shapes you, refines you, and teaches you what cannot be taken away. Without the wind, even eagles forget how high they can soar. Without the pressure, diamonds remain hidden in coal. Your pain has been purposeful. Every trembling night prepared you for unmovable mornings. And now, as you stand in this peace, realize something sacred: the battle was never just about you. Heaven was proving to the enemy that a surrendered soul cannot be shaken. You are living evidence that peace is more powerful than panic. When you rest in God, you resist darkness. When you choose calm instead of chaos, heaven fights for you. Your stillness confuses the enemy because it shows him that his noise no longer controls your narrative. Chosen one, the days ahead will still bring challenges, but you will face them differently now. You won't rush into fear, you'll respond with faith. You won't crumble under pressure, you'll breathe under grace. You will walk through fire and come out without the smell of smoke. Because when peace guards you, the flames refine but never consume. This is the strength of the rested warrior, the one who knows that divine covering is stronger than any earthly weapon. You may see storms on the horizon, but now you recognize them not as threats, but as confirmations that your foundation is unshakable. You've entered the realm where worry no longer dictates your decisions. Your mind is guarded, your heart is shielded, your purpose is protected. The chaos around you has not disappeared, but it has lost its authority. And as you move forward, peace will not just be your comfort, it will be your weapon. It will open doors that force could never move. It will draw opportunities that striving could never reach. Peace carries an aroma of heaven that attracts divine alignment. Chosen one, stand tall in this truth: you are covered, guarded, and guided. Every dart of darkness will fall harmlessly before it reaches you. Every plan formed against you is already being dismantled in the unseen. The The storm may roar, but it cannot touch what belongs to God. You are hidden in His shadow, and there in the quiet strength of divine rest you will find that no weapon, no word, and no worry will ever prevail. Chosen one. This is the moment heaven marks as the end of striving. You've spent so much of your life pushing, reaching, fixing, believing that if you just did a little more, prayed a little harder, worked a little longer, then peace would finally arrive. But peace is not earned, it is received. You are standing in the threshold between human effort and divine ease. God is saying, stop fighting for what I've already finished. Every season of exhaustion has brought you to this revelation. Rest is not laziness, it's alignment. The kingdom doesn't operate by hustle, it operates by harmony. When you stop running in circles, heaven begins to move in straight lines on your behalf. The ancient words recorded in the book of Hebrews chapter 4, verse 10, still echo today, for anyone who enters God's rest also rests from their works, just as God did from His. That is your prophetic invitation to enter the rest of completion. Just as the Creator ceased on the seventh day, so must you learn to trust that what He began, He will also finish. You are not behind. You are exactly where divine hands have positioned you. You no longer need to chase what's already chasing you. Favor follows the rested. Provision finds those who trust. When you stop grasping, grace grabs hold. The very things you've been praying for will begin to locate you, not through your effort, but through your surrender. Beloved, listen, there is a peace coming to your spirit that will make you wonder why you ever feared missing out. What is meant for you cannot pass you by. The door that belongs to you doesn't open by force, it opens by faith. You don't have to knock it down, you only need to stand still long enough to see it swing wide. This moment is holy ground, the end of running, the beginning of resting. You are walking out of striving and into sovereignty. Heaven is declaring over you, it is finished. The war within your mind, the endless tension of trying to be enough, is being silenced by grace. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this: the waves that once tossed you now lift you. The winds that once opposed you now carry you. Everything that once felt like resistance is turning into rhythm. You are moving with heaven, not against it. There is no need to fear falling behind. Time is not your enemy, it is God's servant. When you are aligned with Him, even lost years bow before restoration. You will recover without rushing, rebuild without breaking, and rise without running. This rest is not temporary, it is transformational. It's the kind of peace that shifts your entire atmosphere. People will notice it. They'll see the calm in your eyes, the stillness in your spirit, the confidence that can't be explained. You won't have to say a word. Peace will speak for you, will speak. And now, chosen one, if your heart recognizes this truth, let heaven hear your agreement. Write in the comments the number 44444. This is your prophetic act, the sign of stability, divine order, and the completion of chaos. It represents the four winds of heaven aligning to carry you into perfect peace. When you type 44444, you're declaring, I am resting in divine order. You're announcing to the unseen realm that you've stopped trying to control the outcome. You've surrendered the pen of your story back to its author. Don't underestimate this simple act. In the kingdom, symbols carry weight. Your comment is not a ritual, it's a revelation. It's heaven's way of marking this moment in eternity, the instant you chose rest over resistance. From this day forward, you will notice a shift. The things that used to drain you will no longer have power over you. The thoughts that once kept you awake will lose their grip. You'll begin to feel time stretch, space open, and peace settle like morning dew. You're not losing drive, you're gaining direction. You're not quitting, You're conquering differently. No longer through exhaustion, but through ease. No longer through force, but through faith. Chosen one. Rest is not the absence of destiny, it's the atmosphere of it. When you rest, you allow heaven to arrange your future without interruption. You let the winds of grace do what your hands never could. So breathe deep. Let the striving end. You've reached the point of divine completion, the place where heaven says, enough. And now, your only task is to receive type 4444. Take a breath and let God take over. This is your seal of peace, your mark of divine alignment. You are not falling behind, you are falling into grace. Chosen one. As you emerge from this sacred rest, something within you feels different. It's not loud or dramatic, it's quiet, steady, sure. The weight that once clung to your spirit has lifted, and in its place, there is strength. A strength that doesn't roar but radiates. You are not the same person who entered the fire. What was once fragile in you has become fortified by grace. This is what it means to wear the mantle of the rested warrior. It is not a garment made of pride or perfection, but of peace. You wear it not because you have conquered every storm, but because you have learned how to stand still in the midst of one. Heaven has crowned you with calm. The peace you carry is not passive, it is powerful. According to what is revealed in the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 10. Be strong in the Lord and in His mighty power. That strength is not born from exhaustion or effort, it comes from trust. You've learned that divine might flows through surrender. The more you let go, the more heaven fills you. You are not running on your own willpower anymore. You are moving on divine energy. Your rest has become your weapon. When others panic, your peace speaks louder than words. The enemy can no longer provoke you because he no longer controls your reaction. Every time you stay calm, you declare to darkness, I have already won. The rested warrior doesn't need to shout, his silence carries the sound of victory. You've been refined through fire, but you didn't burn, you glowed. The pain that once tried to bury you has become your platform. The heartbreak that silenced you has become your message. Every tear you cried has turned into oil, and now you carry an anointing that breaks yokes wherever you go. Chosen one, look closely at your journey. What you thought was chaos was actually training. Every battle shaped your discernment. Every loss taught you wisdom. Every delay built your endurance. Heaven was not punishing you. It was preparing you to carry weight without wavering. Now, you are balanced, firm, grounded, and full of quiet confidence. This is the strength that doesn't announce itself but can be felt when you walk into a room. People will notice a difference, they won't be able to explain it, but they will sense peace following you like a fragrance. It's the scent of victory born from surrender. And though your armor is invisible, heaven sees it gleaming. You wear the breastplate of peace, the shield of trust, the shoes of patience, the sword of stillness. Every part of you testifies that God has completed something within. You've become a vessel that no longer leaks under pressure. The world may still be noisy, but it no longer pulls you into its chaos. You walk slower now, but surer. You speak less, but every word carries weight. You love deeper, not because it's easy, but because you understand how much grace you've been given. That's the mark of those who've been through fire and found God faithful. Beloved, there is authority in your calm. The rested warrior doesn't chase opportunities, he attracts them. When peace governs you, heaven can trust you with power. You have proven that you won't misuse blessing to fill an emptiness. You will steward it to heal others. That's why your season of stillness was so long. God was building capacity. You are now stepping into new assignments, but they will not drain you as before. You will operate from overflow, not emptiness. You'll give without losing strength, speak without losing peace, love without losing balance. The mantle you carry ensures that everything you do flows from grace, not grind. You no longer move to be seen, you move because you're sent. You no longer fight to be heard, you speak only when heaven breathes through you. The rested warrior does not react, he responds. He doesn't seek attention, he carries atmosphere, and wherever he walks, rest follows. Chosen one. The world needs this version of you, the one who walks softly yet carries divine authority. You are a lighthouse now. Others who are drowning in noise will find direction through your calm. Your peace is a map, your composure a testimony. You don't have to preach loudly, your stillness is already a sermon. You've become a vessel of balance in an age of chaos, a gentle strength in a world that confuses noise with power. That's your divine assignment now, to embody peace so deeply that even storms grow quiet in your presence. And as you continue this journey, remember the mantle isn't a finish line, it's a calling. Rest isn't the end, it's the rhythm of your new beginning. You've learned to fight differently, love freely, and live lightly. You've been crowned not with gold, but with grace. Walk forward. Chosen one, the rested warrior has risen. Chosen one, you have waited long, trusted deeply, and walked faithfully through the valley of delays. You've seen seasons come and go without the breakthroughs you prayed for. But hear this now. Heaven has never been late. Every moment that felt like a pause was precision in disguise. God's timing is not bound by clocks or calendars, it moves according to purpose. What He has prepared for you was not ready sooner, and neither were you. There is divine perfection in every delay. It is heaven's way of ensuring that when blessing comes, you are able to hold it. If the promise had arrived earlier, it might have overwhelmed you. But now, after the refining, you can receive it without losing yourself in it. Every tear, every unanswered question, every closed door, it all served to strengthen your spirit for this appointed hour. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. It hastens toward the goal, and it will not fail. Though it lingers, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. Those words still breathe today. The vision still lives. Heaven's plans have not expired, they've been maturing. What God began in you has been developing silently, like roots deep in the soil during winter. You thought nothing was happening, but beneath the surface, purpose was expanding, preparing to break through. Chosen one. Heaven's timing often feels like silence because it's a symphony you can't yet hear. God is aligning pieces beyond your sight, conversations you don't know about, opportunities not yet visible, hearts being softened, doors being built. You are not being overlooked, you are being synchronized. There's a rhythm to divine fulfillment. It doesn't rush, it unfolds. The same God who placed the stars in orbit is orchestrating your destiny with that same precision. The universe doesn't panic when clouds cover the sun, it knows the sun never moved. Likewise, God's promises are still shining, even when circumstances seem dark. You may look back and think, I wasted years waiting. But heaven would say, those years were sacred. The waiting wasn't wasted, it was woven with wisdom. In the waiting, you learned discernment. You learned to hear God's whisper over the noise. You learned to trust not the pace of progress, but the presence of the planner. Chosen one. Remember how Joseph spent years in prisons and pits before palaces. How David was anointed but not yet enthroned. How Abraham waited decades for his promise to breathe. The delay didn't deny them, it defined them. It made them trustworthy with what heaven was preparing to give. you are in that same company. You too have endured the refining, the reshaping, the hidden years where no one applauded but heaven watched in silence. Every unnoticed moment was noticed by God. Every small act of faith, every yes whispered through tears, it was all counted. You've been measured, molded, and matured. Now the divine clock is striking its appointed hour. The shifts you could not manufacture are beginning to unfold effortlessly. Doors will open not through striving, but through sequence. What once felt locked will feel like it's waiting for your touch. Heaven's timing will reveal how every detour was secretly divine direction. The lesson in this season is simple yet sacred. God's delays are never denials. What you call waiting is often heaven's way of writing the final details. The longer the preparation, the greater the manifestation. The promise that seemed far is already walking toward you. Chosen one, you are stepping into divine synchronization. The timing of heaven doesn't need your rush, it needs your readiness. Don't despise the slow unfolding, it's the rhythm of eternal wisdom. When the moment comes, it will come suddenly, yet you will realize it's been building all along. Look back for a moment. Every closed door that once broke your heart was a wall of protection. Every delay that frustrated you was a barrier against premature exposure. God wasn't withholding, He was safeguarding. The blessings that are arriving now are purified by patience. You can handle them because you waited. There's a kind of peace that only comes after long waiting, the peace of realization that God was never late. That peace is resting on you now. It will become your confidence as you move forward. You no longer need to worry about missing your moment. Heaven's timing is precise to the breath. What's meant for you cannot arrive early and cannot leave late. Chosen one, lift your eyes, the dawn is near. The waiting is ending, and fulfillment is beginning. Every seed planted in faith will soon bloom in fullness. You'll see why the delay was divine, and when it happens, you won't just thank God for the promise, you'll thank Him for the waiting that made you ready to receive it. Chosen one, peace is contagious. The rest that has settled over your soul is not meant to stay hidden. It is meant to flow outward like a river. You've spent this journey receiving, healing, and surrendering. Now, heaven is calling you to release. What has been poured into you must become living water for others. You have become a vessel of calm in a world addicted to chaos. Your words, your energy, your silence, they carry weight now. No one lights a lamp and hides it under a bowl. You were never called to contain peace, but to carry it into places where storms still rage. The comfort that has clothed you is meant to comfort others. There are souls right now gasping for the same breath of peace that you have found. Heaven desires to reach them through you. As the apostle wrote in his letter to the Philippians, chapter 2, verse 15. Then you will shine among them like stars in the sky as you hold firmly to the word of life. That light isn't about perfection, it's about presence. It shines through kindness, compassion, and courage. You don't have to force it, it flows naturally when you walk in divine rest. The light in you was born from the same fire that once tried to destroy you. It's purified light, holy, steady, unshakable. Chosen one, when people cross your path, they should feel peace before they hear your words. You are a walking testimony that stillness is not emptiness, it's evidence of trust. You are heaven's mirror, reflecting divine calm into the noise of earth. And so, I want to speak from heart to heart. If these words have touched something deep inside you, if they've reminded you that peace is possible even in the storm, don't let that flame stop here. Let's make it ripple outward. When you like or share this message, you're not just engaging, you're extending grace. You're helping this light reach another soul who might be one breath away from giving up. Maybe someone scrolling right now is where you once were tired, lost, praying for a sign. Your small act of sharing might be that sign. When you subscribe, it isn't just about following a channel, it's about choosing to stay under a stream of faith and hope. It's like stepping into a river that flows daily with reminders of heaven's promises. Each message becomes a drop of living water, washing away anxiety, renewing your strength, keeping your spirit aligned. And if you ever feel led to donate, see it as planting into fertile soil. Each offering becomes a seed that helps this voice of peace continue to reach hearts across the world. Think of it like adding another log to a sacred fire. The warmth reaches farther, the light burns brighter, the darkness retreats a little more. Every contribution, every click, every share, it all echoes beyond screens and algorithms. It becomes a chain of light linking one soul to another. You never know who might encounter this message because of your simple act of faith. That's the beauty of divine mathematics. Heaven multiplies what you release in love. Chosen one, this isn't about charity, it's about partnership. You and I and all who hear this word are builders of a quiet revolution, the uprising of peace. Every action you take in faith expands that movement. When we walk together in unity, the light doubles. When we give together, hope multiplies. Let your support, whether through sharing, subscribing, or sowing, be your way of saying, I stand with heaven's message. This isn't just my voice, it's our voice. Together, we are amplifying calm in a world of clamor, love in an age of division, faith in a time of fear. And yes, leave a comment below. Write what this message stirred in your heart. Maybe it's gratitude, maybe it's revelation, maybe it's peace returning to places it once fled. Your words matter. When others read them, they'll see proof that transformation is possible. Comments become testimonies, and testimonies become sparks that light someone else's way. Every amen, every I feel this, every short whisper of faith builds a spiritual thread connecting hearts across nations. Never underestimate the power of what you release. You may type with your fingers, but heaven reads with its heart. You've come so far, chosen one. You are not merely surviving, you are shining. You've learned to breathe again, to trust again, to stand again. Now, let the world witness the calm that comes when God takes over. Like ripples spreading across still water, your obedience will reach places you'll never see, but heaven will. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize that your simple yes helped peace find another weary soul. So stand tall, shine quietly, and let your actions speak the language of light. You are no longer just a receiver of rest, you are a distributor of it, a carrier of heaven's calm in a restless age. Chosen one, as you look back over the path you've walked, you will begin to see what you couldn't before. Every season, both bright and broken, was held together by unseen hands. You were never wandering without guidance. Even in moments when you felt most forgotten, heaven was closer than your own breath. Every unanswered prayer, every quiet night, every divine delay, it all carried fingerprints of purpose. There were days when you thought you had lost your way, but now you can see the gentle thread that wove through every experience. The disappointments that made you question God's presence were actually the anchors that kept you from drifting too far. The doors that shut in your face weren't rejection, they were redirection. The tears that fell weren't wasted, they watered the soil for what would one day bloom. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 139, verse 16. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. Chosen one, This means nothing has ever surprised God. Not your detours, not your heartbreaks, not even your moments of doubt. He saw it all, and still He chose you. Still He called you His own. Every chapter, even the ones you would rather erase, has been used to build the testimony you now carry. Sometimes, when you look at your scars, you see reminders of pain, but heaven sees maps of grace. Those scars mark the places where darkness tried to end you and failed. They are holy symbols of survival, proof that God's mercy surrounded you even when you couldn't feel it. The wounds that once bled now shine as evidence of divine intervention. You made it not because you were strong, but because you were held. There were moments when you thought you were walking alone, but the truth is you were being carried. Every time your faith wavered, grace stepped in to bridge the gap. Every time your heart broke, love quietly rebuilt it from within. You didn't notice it then, but heaven was stitching together a story that would one day bring healing to others. Chosen one, you have never been alone, not even for a heartbeat. The loneliness you felt was not the absence of God, it was the stretching of your soul, making room for deeper intimacy. You were being taught to rely on something greater than emotion, to trust presence even when you couldn't sense it. Now, as you reflect, you begin to see how divine orchestration works. The people who left made space for those who were meant to stay. The opportunities that slipped away made room for what was truly yours. The things that broke you were the very things that built your empathy. What once felt like an ending was actually an unfolding. Heaven does not waste pain. Every trial you faced is being redeemed for glory. Every valley you walked through is becoming a place of revelation. You will soon understand why the storm was necessary. For it didn't come to destroy you, but to deliver you to a higher mountain. The winds that once pushed against you were the same winds that lifted you. Chosen one. When you look back now, you'll notice the pattern: mercy in the middle of chaos, provision in the midst of emptiness, light guiding your steps when you thought you were stumbling in the dark. God has never stopped weaving redemption through your days. What you thought was random was remarkably intentional. The heartbreak that once broke your faith has now become the foundation of your ministry. The silence that once made you doubt is now the space where you hear heaven most clearly. You have learned to see God not only in miracles but in moments. Every time you thought you were being buried, you were actually being planted. Every time something ended, something eternal began. You have lived through enough to know now heaven wastes nothing. And as you continue forward, this awareness will keep you anchored. You will no longer question the process. You will trust the unfolding. You will walk in quiet confidence, knowing that if God has written every day of your life before you lived even one of them, then nothing, absolutely nothing, is out of order. You will look at your past not with regret, but with reverence. Every joy, every sorrow, every detour has been a brushstroke in the masterpiece of your becoming. You were never abandoned, you were being authored. Chosen one. Take one last glance backward, not to mourn, but to marvel. Look how far you've come. Look how heaven never let go. Then turn your face forward, for the same hand that carried you through the night will guide you into the dawn. You were never walking alone. You were always walking with God. Chosen one. This is the moment where surrender becomes sovereignty, where you finally understand that resting in God is not the end of your journey, but the beginning of divine partnership. Heaven is no longer merely watching over your steps, it is now walking with you in rhythm. The striving has ceased, and what remains is harmony. The noise that once surrounded your soul has faded into the stillness of divine orchestration. God has taken over now, and all that was once chaos is finding its place in perfect order. You can feel it, can't you? The atmosphere around your life has shifted. There is a peace so deep it no longer depends on circumstances. You don't need external proof to believe anymore. Faith has become your default posture. You are no longer chasing miracles, you are walking among them. What used to intimidate you now bows before the calm authority you carry. Heaven's government now rules your heart, and everything within you agrees with it, as was spoken in the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 5. He who was seated on the throne said, "Behold, I am making all things new." Chosen one. Heaven has moved from observation to occupation. The same spirit that hovered over the waters in Genesis now hovers over your life, shaping order out of the remnants of what once felt broken. Where confusion lived, clarity is rising. Where despair built walls, hope is opening windows. This is divine takeover, gentle yet unstoppable. You are not who you were when this journey began. The version of you that fought, feared, and doubted has dissolved in the light of revelation. The old self, defined by striving, has yielded to the new self, defined by surrender. You have learned to rest while remaining ready, to trust without tension, to believe without bargaining. The crown you wear now is invisible, but undeniable peace sits upon your head like glory. Look around your life through heaven's lens. The places you once called dead ends have become intersections of purpose. The losses that once crushed you have turned into altars of worship. Even the silence that once haunted you has become the chamber of your deepest encounters with God. Nothing has been wasted, not a single tear, not a single prayer, not a single moment. Everything has been recycled into redemption. Chosen one, you have stepped into the season of divine ease. That doesn't mean everything will be effortless, but it does mean that everything will flow. You are no longer moving by force, you are being carried by favor. The same current that once seemed to drown you is now lifting you higher. Grace has become the wind beneath your wings, and you are finally soaring instead of struggling. You've learned to recognize God not just in rescue, but in rhythm. The days ahead will still have challenges, but you will meet them differently now. You won't panic, you'll pause. You won't plead, you'll proclaim, because you know deeply, unshakably that heaven is already ahead of you, arranging what you can't control. The takeover is complete. God's hand has replaced your exhaustion with endurance, your confusion with clarity, your fear with faith. The story you once thought was falling apart has revealed itself as divine composition. Every dissonant note has resolved into harmony. Every scar has become a line of beauty in the song of your becoming. Chosen one, this is not an ending, it is an establishment. You have entered the cadence of divine confidence. You no longer wrestle with the question, will God come through? You live in the answer He already has. That assurance is your authority now. You are no longer the one who begs, you are the one who bears witness. You don't demand signs, you demonstrate them. You carry proof not in words, but in the peace that follows you. The heavens have taken over your timeline, and the kingdom has taken residence within you. You are aligned, appointed, and anointed for the season ahead. Every step you take from here forward is not reaction, it is revelation. Heaven moves, and you move with it. Now breathe. Let your spirit settle into the calm you once prayed for. You have crossed the threshold. The striving soul has become the sovereign soul. And as you walk from this chapter into the next, know this unshakable truth. You rest because He reigns. You are still because He is strong. You are free because He has finished it all. The takeover is complete. The story is whole. The chosen one has entered divine rest, and God has taken His rightful place at the center of it all. Beloved chosen one, if this message found you, it wasn't by accident, it was divine timing. You didn't stumble here, heaven led you. What you felt as you listened or read wasn't emotion, it was encounter. This is your reminder that peace is possible. Rest is holy, and God is still moving in your story. If this journey has touched your heart, take a quiet moment to like and share, not as routine, but as worship. Every share is a ripple of light sent into someone else's storm. You may never know whose midnight moment your obedience will reach, but heaven does. Leave a comment below, share what stirred your soul. Maybe it's one line, one feeling, one realization. Your words might become the sign someone else was praying for. And if this message has strengthened you, subscribe to stay connected. Let's keep walking this path of divine peace together. Each word, each prayer, each story adds to the chorus of those choosing rest in a restless world. You are not just a listener, you are part of this movement of calm, grace, and glory. Keep shining softly, beloved. The world needs the peace you now carry.